Oh, it's Baldy Tim from Baldy Tim's Reviews, joined here by Lorraine.
Hi.
And what are we doing today?
Okay, cycling around Gili T.
And we're actually doing it twice. There's a coastal path that goes all the way around the island, which sounds good. Sounds like we're doing amazing things.
Hundreds of miles.
But it literally takes about an hour of very easy cycling to go each circuit. And it's pretty much all of it is down this sort of nice, very flat, even paved path as well. It's really, really easy, not strenuous at all. And we've actually come to the same little stop as we came to this morning because the coffee is really, really nice. And you get a nice little chocolate chip bicky as well.
Yeah.
And some samosas here with some dips.
Feta cheese.
For a nice cheeky little snack to sustain ourselves. But yeah, join us because we're going to be going around the whole island here. Yeah, just join us for the ride. And if you fancy coming along to Gili T and doing a bit of cycling, highly recommend this ride. It's been a lot of fun. These bikes also very, very cheap to rent. You can get them for a whole day for 50,000 rupiah each, which is about £2.50 each. And you can't go wrong really. And if you think it's really strenuous, well, I'm 61, and if I can do it, you can do it, I'm sure. And welcome to Gili Trawangan, Lombok, Indonesia, otherwise known as just Gili T, which is the largest and probably busiest out of the three Gili Isles, and the ones that are next to each other. You've got Gili Air, Gili Mino and Gili T, and this is sort of the big party island apparently. Not that we've done a lot of partying. You can hear some of the music going on there. So what we're doing is a big circuit of the entire island, which is starting here at Sunset Point. So I'm going to video a good amount of the circuit, probably not the whole lot. I think it takes about an hour of cycling to go all the way round, but I'm going to have a stop or two on the way as well. Yeah, just enjoy the commentary as I go around some of the highlights of this track. Now, you can see a nicely paved bit of track here, although this particular bit here is covered with sand, but this goes around the entire circuit about 95% of the way, and all you got to do is just make sure you're following this path along the seafront, and you're not going to go too far wrong. But there is one little section coming up soon actually at Turtle Point. Clues in the name, you can actually rent some fins, mask and snorkel with the turtles. We haven't done that, maybe another day, but that is an option. And that is the only part of this path which goes inland slightly away from the sea, but I'll show you that in a minute. Hopefully that will be signposted. But yeah, just as we go away from Sunset Point, we have any number of places you can stay, villas, hotels, and of course all the various beachfront clubs and restaurants, bars. But the nice thing is some of this track goes a little bit less urban or a bit more rural as well. So if you want to do what we're doing, these bikes are Terima kasih. Yeah, you can hire one of these bikes for 50,000 rupiah a day, which is, well, it's not a lot at all really. What is it, about £2.50 a day? I think, let me do the maths. Yeah, 100,000 is £5, so yeah, £2.50 for a day for one of these bikes. And they all seem to be the same, most of them. You can see a few of them along the side here. They're all these sort of step through things. Mine's a single gear because there's no hill climbing to do. As it's by the sea, it's all flat all the way around, and you can just do a nice gentle sort of pedal along. It's not at all taxing really. And then if you want, you can just stop whenever you like for a nice break at one of the many sort of seaside bars, restaurants, etc. Whatever you want really. You don't really have to go too far, even in the semi-rural bits, before you come across something where you can have a rest and a drink. So if you want a bit of activity, but not too much, grab one of these bikes for £2.50 a day, which is Australian wise, I guess about $5. US wise, probably $3 a day. So that's what you're kind of looking at. Just have to be a little bit careful here of oncoming traffic. So Lorraine's coming along with me, she's just behind me. So I've got to look around, make sure she's following as I'm concentrating on the filming. Hopefully the microphone's just picking up the waves and the seaside vibe here. Of course, you've got any number of sellers of various trinkets and bits and pieces, souvenirs. So you're all good, you're all catered for there. Not sure what these guys are doing. It's sort of drive on the left here. Right, this is the bit where you go inland. This is Turtle Point. So you've got to detour off the, or away from the seaside just for a little way. But although it's not really signposted, it is quite obvious where you've got to turn. Oh. You all right, Lorraine? So this morning's ride was in the hot sun, but this afternoon I guess it's somewhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it's overcast, and there's even just a nice little bit of rain. Well, just the odd spot here and there, which just keeps things nice and cool. But even in the hot sun, we found it, once you're going along on the bike at a gentle pace, it keeps you cool. So you'd think it'd be a hot, sweaty activity, pedalling like this. This bit's not great actually, just as an aside, it's all a load of rubbish in there, which is a bit of a shame really. But yeah, this is, going back to my main point. Oh, you'd think it'd be a hot, sweaty business, but once you're pedalling, even just gently, just doing, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour, it just keeps, the airflow just keeps you nice and relatively cool. And you can just go as fast or slow as you like, really. around here. As I say, none of this is signposted, but it seems to be quite obvious where you turn. And if you think you're lost, just stop and wait for another cycle or two to go by and follow those, because they probably know the way. Hopefully, hopefully they know the way. Now, there's no motor vehicle transport on the island whatsoever. I'll just stop here. But what you do get is these little, I say horse-drawn, but pony-drawn little carriage things, which is the main form of transport here. And apart from that, your only other options are cycling or walking. Some people have these little electric scooters like that guy there, and you'll see a few other ones going by, but apparently they're illegal. You shouldn't really be using those things, so just respecting the island. Yeah, we haven't opted for one of those. We've just gone for these push bikes, which, as I say, if all you're doing is just going along the coastal path, it's not really necessary to have a scooter anyway. Oh. And although it's nicely paved, as I say, for about 95% of the way, you do get the odd little section like that we've just gone through that's covered with beach sand, and which you have to be a bit careful of. If you really need to, you can dismount and just walk it, but they only go on for about sort of 20 metres or something at the most, so you don't really need to worry about those too much. So we went past Turtle Point there. This might still be part of Turtle Point. I think it might be. And believe it or not, we've probably already done about a quarter to a third of the entire island circuit just in this little space of time. So the next point of interest is going to be the port where you'll come into Gili T. But I'm just going to switch off for now and turn back on in a second. Oh, it's just a nice little cooling breeze coming off the sea there, which is very nice. But the other thing is, if you're into your diving, there's plenty of diving options around here as well. Lots of diving schools, all your paddy places, if you're into your diving. We don't really do so much of that, or any of it really. Bit of snorkeling we're going to do later on in our trip, but diving, I don't think so. But if you're into your diving, this is the place to come, and it's not very far from the port either. Oh. The Gili Islands, as I say, consist of 3 islands. Well, I think there's other Gilis as well, but the three best known ones are Gili T, this one, which is the furthest one out from Lombok. Then the kind of middle one is Gili Mino, and then the one nearest to Lombok is Gili T. And Gili T's the biggest one, the party island, and it's probably the best known one, the busiest one. Gili Mino, on the other hand, is supposed to be very, very quiet, very, very chill, and probably almost too quiet for a lot of people. But if you just want total relaxation and not much else, Gili Mino is the one to go for. And finally, Gili T, it's probably somewhere in between, probably closer to Gili Mino rather than Gili T. Quite chilled out, but there's still bits and pieces to do there as well. So probably for an older person like, or an older couple like us, that's ideal. But what we're going to do is stop in a minute. There's a very nice place we found this morning where you can get a nice cup of coffee. Long black as they're called here. Oh, it gets very busy here. Yeah, just checking that the wife's still behind me. I haven't lost my wife, so we're all good. Yeah, so it's a very nice place, quite a posh place actually, because we do like to do a bit of posh, Lorraine and I do, from time to time. So we'll stop there for another coffee, because I know it's a good coffee there, so might as well. So this is probably the busiest, most manic part of this ride, coming through this bit now, because we are coming up to the port, so you've got all sorts of people walking around, dragging their suitcases along with them, cycling, you've got the horse carriage things, and all sorts of cyclists, all sorts of pedestrians. So it really is manic here. We'll just take it nice and slow, you'll be okay. Yeah, if this is a bit too manic for you for cycling, probably best to dismount, but it's just about okay for us. Actually, it's looking even more manic up there. Might have to actually dismount in a second. Yeah, this is the port here, so this is where it's going to be maddest. And if you're wondering about your transport from your the port up to the hotel or wherever you're staying, you don't need to worry, because you've got a lot of these things always lining up here, these horse and carriages. They're not very big, mind. If you've got like some big suitcases and there's a two of you, you might even want to consider hiring two of them. And they're 200,000. Well, it cost us 200,000 rupiah to come from here up to our place. Probably about 2/3 of the way across the island. So you can get pretty much anywhere, I'd say, on the island from here for 200,000. And if you've got quite a few bags and there's a few of you, you probably need two of them. But 200,000 is sort of £10. so it's not breaking the bank really, and it just gets you to your sort of hotel nice and quickly and conveniently. So just hop on one of those and you've got quite a characterful way of going from port to hotel. So we've gone past the most manic bit. And if you're worried about having to go in one of those cart things, probably best to get a hotel near the port. When you look at the your hotel options on booking.com or whatever, just make sure your hotel's within walking distance, you know, within a kilometre at the most, I'd say, of the port here. And then you can just wheel your cases up along here. As many people are doing, you'll probably see a few people with their cases along here. We didn't quite check that situation out sufficiently, so it transpired that our accommodation was quite a lot further up really than what would be walkable. But yeah, if you're just looking for a really nice little cycle ride that's not too taxing but is just enjoyable, this is great. And I always much prefer, when it comes to cycle rides, I always prefer a circular route rather than a kind of out and back kind of thing. It's just, it just seems so much better to me, and that's exactly what you've got here. And we're coming up to our coffee and drink stop soon. So we've already done probably half or even just over half of our ride, which is great. Yeah, some of these electric scooters do whip along here quite fast, so you have to watch out for those. And this is our little coffee stop here. The Pearl Beach Lounge. It's quite upmarket, quite upscale, and but reasonable. Everything's reasonable here. I think 2 coffees and 2 cold drinks cost us 160,000 earlier on. Probably another 160,000 in a minute. But I'm just going to get up here. It's quite misty at the moment. Over there in the distance is Lombok. And then if I go around a bit further, the first landmass over there that you can see past the post there is Gili T, and then you can see another little bit of land which kind of sticks out past Gili T, which is Gili Air, and then the bit with all the hills and mountains is Lombok. So we've just stopped at the Pearl Beach Lounge, and just look at the view that you've got from here. You probably can't quite see it because it's wide angle, but you've got the beach, you've got the bit of sea there, and then you've got Lombok and all the mountains of Lombok beyond. Yeah, views don't really come much better than this, do they? So if you're cycling around Gili T, I can recommend the Pearl Beach Lounge here for your kind of mid-ride refreshment stop. It's really quite posh. There's Lorraine sitting up there in the distance. And I say it's posh, but there's actually 2 levels to this place. So you've got 2-tier poshness. And this is probably all part of it here. So if it's a bit nicer, you could relax here on the beach as well. But let's just do a shot of this place from across the road. And you can actually stay here as well. It is some kind of hotel resort thing. But for us, it's probably a bit out of our price range. So just a quick coffee and a little light snack. You can't go wrong with this. So what a nice little stop that was. Anyway, we're carrying on with the Gili T coastal circuit ride, and we've probably done about 2/3 of it, I would say now. So it's just a nice, easy ride back. If people don't run in front of me, that is. And part of this last bit is it gets semi-rural, so you get out of it a little bit. And you also see it's a mainly flat island, but there is a bit of a hill at one end of it, and which you can go up because it's apparently got some Japanese gun emplacements from the Second World War up there, which would be quite interesting to see. Probably won't do that on this ride, but it is an option. You can just lock your bike up at the bottom and go up there apparently and go and see it. Here goes one of those horse and cart things. And a lady there with her bag going up, no doubt going up to a hotel from the port. I'll just tell you an interesting little anecdote. We're within walking distance of Sunset Point, so last night we walked down there, and very civilised. They've got these sort of beanbag things you can sit at on the beach, very comfortable, and with a beer. And as the name would suggest, it's where you go for your sunsets. It's west facing at that point, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit cloudy, so we didn't get the full sunset effect. And looking at these clouds now, it's probably going to be the same tonight as well. But we'll get down there again, at least have a beer, and we can see what's what there. But you do get some spectacular sunsets there. And even though our sunset wasn't that great, it's still very nice, pleasant experience. Yeah, we're within walking distance of Sunset Point or Sunset Beach, so we can just walk along there. And well, tonight we'll probably cycle there, but that is something you can do as well. But the funny story is we went there, went to Sunset Point, had our beer, and then we went along for dinner, and we then went back to our hotel. And this is, Gili T is the party island. So if you want a lot of partying and a lot of clubbing and all that sort of thing, busy bars, Gili T's the one for you. If you want total chill, Gili Mino. And if you want something roughly somewhere in between, Gili Air would be the one for you. But we're on the party island, probably a bit on the old side. We're probably a good sort of 30 years older than the average visitor to Gili T, but partying's not really our thing, so we're just having 2 nights here. This is going to be the second night, and that's probably going to be enough for us, but It's just so we can say we've been here. And to be fair, there are more chilled out parts of the island, so if you don't want the partying, you can still come here and have a chill time. But the funny thing is, bearing in mind this has got a reputation for partying, you know, just have a guess. After we had our meal, we got back to a hotel after a few drinks as well, and we went to bed. And what time do you think that was? Was it 5 o'clock in the morning? 3 o'clock in the morning? 1 o'clock in the morning? Surely not before midnight, Tim. Surely not. No. 9:30 we were PM, of course. That was us in bed, fast asleep. So there we are on the party island, in bed and asleep by 9:30 PM. Yeah, things aren't quite what they were for us, I'm afraid. Not that I was ever really a big partier, clubber type of guy anyway, even back in my prime. So this is probably a bit more of a chill part of the island, I'd say. So these are the bikes that you get, these OFO things, not mofos, just OFOs, but that's how you can remember them. And yeah, you get the front basket, the back rack. Ray's got all our stuff here on hers, so that means I can just travel very lightly at her expense. And single speed, but that's all you need on this ride. And yeah, not bad for about £2.50 a day is what they cost. So I've just seen a few things saying sunset this, sunset that. So I think we are just coming back to Sunset Beach now, or Sunset Point. It's called one of those two things, and that means we have done the entire circuit of the island. So it hasn't taken long, and if we hadn't stopped at that place back there, it would have only taken really about 40 minutes. They do say it's an hour's ride, but that would be at a very, very gentle pace. But you could do it in 40 to 45 minutes quite comfortably. But why would you want to go quick, really? The whole point of being in the Gillies is to just chill out, relax, and not go too mad with anything, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, this afternoon ride has been absolutely perfect. It's overcast, just spotting with rain, and with the breeze that blows by you as you're cycling anyway, it's not too warm at all. It's just very, very comfortable. And what an enjoyable experience this is, just seeing the sights of Gili T and on a bike, which is one of my favourite ways of travelling anyway. And it's just absolutely fantastic. So what do I think of Gili T? Well, we're only here for 2 nights and 1 full day really. But the locals are friendly, food's good.
How are you?
Terima kasih, good. Yeah, that was good timing. That's a good example of one of the locals. Very, very friendly. And the food's good. Prices, apparently the prices are supposed to be a little bit more expensive than on mainland Bali or Lombok, because everything's got to be brought here by boat, of course. But it's not too expensive, especially when you come from England. And yeah, I was saying a minute ago that we're just coming up to Sunset Point, but it's haven't quite got there yet. It looks like there's another 5 minutes or so to go. I thought that was us nearly done, but I think we've probably got another few hundred yards before we've completed the circuit, or a few hundred meters if you work in metric. Just pull over for the pony cart. There we go. And yeah, this is our full circuit now. So this is definitely Sunset Beach. Right. So that is our circuit complete. Didn't take long at all. And what a lovely experience. So that's Sunset Beach. What you can do is get there, obviously just before the sun goes down, watch the sunset with a drink, then have a meal, then go clubbing till the early hours, I guess, if you're into that kind of thing. Or if you're not, be in bed by 9:30 like Rain and me. Anyway, our place is slightly inland, so I thought I'd finish off just showing you a little bit of the interior of the island. You've got these sort of little tracks crisscrossing the whole island as well. So if you wanted to get from one side to another, but you couldn't be bothered cycling all the way around, you can just go cut across. And along the way inland is a few warungs, places to eat and drink, and a shop. I'm going to stop at a shop here in a minute, which is probably where I'll finish filming, because I need to get a razor and have a shave. And maybe a couple of other things as well we'll get from the shop. But yeah, if you are cutting across the island and you need a few bits, or you need a drink or a bite to eat, there's plenty of options. Although it is a little bit quieter inland as well, a bit more sort of rural and things. And our hotel is inland as well, so it's not quite as manic. A lot more chill than some of those beachside places would be. Oh, there's a random chicken. Yeah, but what an interesting island to cycle around this is. And this is our little shop, local little shop coming up, which is where I'm going to stop. The little M Mart, which all over Indonesia, I think, certainly all over Bali and Lombok, etc. And they're quite a nice little, I'll just see if I can flick that up there. Seem to sell a good variety of things. So that was the Gili T coastal ride. Absolutely fantastic experience. Highly recommend it. We did 2 circuits, an anti-clockwise and a clockwise, but you can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 3 or 4 or 5 even. You could probably do 5 of those in a day if you're really energetic. But do check out the bikes, do check out this ride, and I can highly recommend it. So it's Tim, that's been another Baldy Tim's Reviews. Thanks for watching.